Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're looking at, some of the ways to keep some lighting in a house in case we lose power. Um, One of the big things that I have, just in case we lose power for an hour or two or whatever the case may be, is we have battery blocks. This is both a battery block as well as a lamp itself. But the nice thing is, we have two different panels of solar power here, so we can try and charge up in the middle of the day. Not exactly certain how well that works out in the long run, but for the little bit of time that we have lost power in the past, it's not all that bad. Um, we kind of used it, when we were doing an experimental night, just having fun and using it. It did light up the room really well, so that really does help. If we're looking for ways to really get power for the long term, I had bought this quite a few years ago. Actually, this doesn't even work anymore. I tried it out today, and I have nothing out of it whatsoever. But there again, I want to say that this is at least a good 10 years, if not, unfortunately, going on 20 years old. I had used this for trying to get a little bit of power out to a deer stand years ago. And I would have this hanging on the side of my deer stand charging up a battery. So kind of doing the same thing back then, just trying to get me a little bit of power, just the initial idea was for a electric heater, which made way too much noise and was never going to be feasible. But that was the original concept for that. I could charge up the battery and use it to charge power one of those little mini auto heaters, which didn't really work very well. Like I said, too loud. So, kind of going on with that concept, today we have a lot of these chargers. Now, this is a Swiss Tech. This is a bigger block, has a nice solar charger on it and all that. But the nice thing that we have outside of it having its own light is the fact that we can plug things into it. Now, if you have a generator or a battery system or whatever you have, you can always charge those up during the day. You can maybe charge these up a little bit, and you can kind of get some light out of it all. Like I said, this is kind of nice because this charges up. Oops. This one charges up pretty nice as its own, and then I can turn it on and I can get just plenty of light off of this. But just to say, for cheap alternatives, now I've got this lamp here, which, I just, being honest, I picked this up today from Walmart. Now, I saw it a day or two ago. This is a little LED lamp. It does have room on the bottom for three, I believe it's AA, maybe it's AAA batteries. Either way, so you can light it with just double or AAA batteries, or, again, we could take it and we could plug it into a battery block. So that should hopefully light up a room. It's a little sunny out here to try and light these up. So we'll have to kind of move that inside to go from there. The other thing is I happen to see like a multicolor light strip. Again, it's something that this uses a USB, so we could plug it into a battery block like this, and we could get it going. So that adds to the whole thing. Is it going to be the best overall? Maybe, maybe not. Everybody's got their own ideas. But just throwing the ideas out here, these are some of the things that we have. I've got a different lamp than this one already that the wife had bought me, and it's got a nice Star Wars theme. But I picked this one up for the video itself. And then now, a lot of people have had complaints about, I picked up a little wind turbine, and I do have wind blowing here. But this thing just does not want to keep going. And I saw some of the reviews afterwards for that, and I was like, you know what? This was $50 for an experiment. I'm willing to experiment for $50 to see what I can get, and it's supposed to get me up to about 30 watts of power. So again, if you're charging a battery during the day with a panel, something like this. Now, this is from Harbor Freight many years ago, and it was about $20. They have better ones today, better solar today than what we had back then. So maybe you can pick one up for another 20 or 30 or whatever, and you can kind of charge up a battery during the day, maybe get a couple of these to throw out there. These are about 40 bucks with the battery, but this is a little bit more robust than some of the other ones. And the nice thing is I can put my phone right on this and it will charge my phone. So that gives me a little additional benefit. They have some other ones where we actually have cables back here, so you don't even have to come up with your own cables. It's already got cables on here, so you can just kind of plug your phone in, whatever, and they have that available. So that gives us plenty of different options and ideas that we can kind of take advantage of. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with that windmill. I get a good gust of wind, and I don't know how well you guys can hear it, and this windmill is just kind of sitting here idle. So, I don't know. For $50, it was a, we'll see what we get. Just really more of an experimental thing. It's a little pricey for an experiment, but I figured, hey, if I can get some power out of it, whatever. The whole thing is if you can kind of have a small windmill like this and get it to work at night while you're using your power, that's a bonus. Otherwise, if you have to charge things in the day, you can charge during the day. Or if you can charge with a solar panel and a windmill as well, that's even better. I'm not looking at trying to keep a refrigerator going or anything else. Typically, if I lose power, it's for maybe an hour or two or so on and so forth. So I'm not looking for long durations. I'm just looking for a short term, power went out or whatever. That's typically what happens for me. Not to say that I won't run into a situation where, yes, it's going to be a long term, but that's the other reason why I've been trying to make sure I do have something that has solar on it. So if it is a more long lasting environment that I'm without power, I've got other things there. Now, it may also mean that I may have to figure out what's going to be bad in a refrigerator and all that, but I'll have to deal with that when it comes to it. But at least I know I have light and I can charge up a phone or whatever, keep the kids occupied, keep myself occupied or whatever. And, we can go from there. So with that, we'll kind of stop here. We're going to go inside. We'll see how much light we can get out of this. And then we'll kind of go from there and kind of wrap up the video. All right, so now here we are in the basement. I got the lights off, so hopefully we can kind of see a little bit more of what I'm kind of talking about, of just using these as the lights and all that. Now, to be honest, because this is all coiled up, we're not getting to see all the lights here as they're kind of going through. Actually, I don't know exactly, because this came with a remote, so it can kind of blink and all that other stuff. And you can dim it. You can make it a little bit brighter. It's about as good as we're going to go. Let's see. I think it's got, there we are. There. So now it looks like we got different LEDs that are lighting up for different situations, and it gets us a little bit different lighting. So that, having something like this is using low wattage, so it's not bad. It's all coiled up here. I'm not trying to take it all undone. So you could light up a little bit more of an area, just kind of going from there. When we're looking at our $10 lamp here, and that's all this is. This is $10 on the dot here. That's our, off to low to medium to high. Not really as much as what I was thinking it would be. Maybe not the worst for $10. But the funny thing is, this one was, I think, like $6 for a strip of LED lights to say, hey, we can light up a house, whatever. Or at least small areas. We lose power. We want to have a little bit of light, especially when we have kids. We want to be able to see and all that. Without using lamps or anything else. And the fact that this is all rechargeable, it gives us a little bit more flexibility. Now, one of the other things is I see the Terror coming down. Oops, come on. Uh-oh, don't tell me she doesn't want to work anymore. I've got a lamp here that my wife had gotten me. And please tell me she works. There we go. All right, so I've got, nice little Star Wars lamp as we have Indy walking behind me. And then the base lights up. and then the top goes off and the base goes off. So, I mean, the Star Wars lamp really gives me a little bit more light than what our little cheap $10 lamp is here. But there again, I can use regular AA or AAA batteries on this, and then kind of, use the battery pack as a backup, or just use the battery pack because I do have solar charging available. It's just those things to say, hey, what do we all have here? What can we use? These are options, and I really wanted to throw this out here, giving us the ability to kind of hopefully light up a room when it's nice and dark out and all that, and keeping everyone feeling a little bit more sane and a little bit more at ease having light around. So, hopefully we can do this. Maybe you can link it up with a battery system and charge with a solar panel, or maybe you already have a solar generator with solar panels, whatever the case may be. Obviously, my little $50 30-watt windmill isn't gonna cut it for me, but it was just a fun thing to check. It's not something I'm really thinking I'm going to rely on, but I figured, what, maybe it'll work. Maybe I can generate a little bit of power while it's at night and I have some of these on to make things a little bit homelier, a little bit nicer, especially when everybody's home and trying to figure out where all the lights are. And usually I keep everything kind of spread throughout the house, so we have stuff ready to go. And we've been this way for a while. So with that, thank you so very much for stopping by. Thanks for joining me. It's wonderful having you. Indy says hi, and we will see you in the next video.